within. That's all right. Hopefully we can get the week's work experience set up with as many primary and secondary schools within this particular borough, because there are people that live in this borough that want to work in this borough. The entry requirements, they have to be over the age of 19. They have to be legally allowed to work in the UK. They must have lived in the UK for the last 3 years. Generally, they are claiming work-related benefits, job seeker allowance or housing benefits. And as I said, they need to pass a short assessment for English and maths. So just to elaborate, the pilot scheme, it's aimed at students who have completed and passed all the necessary modules. So this will be once they've completed the course, because obviously not everyone will complete the course either. So it's those that have managed to put the effort in, they've got their maths, they've got their literacy, and they've completed all the relevant qualifications. So in terms of the benefits to the schools, obviously they have the opportunity to work with these particular students on a one-to-one basis. Prior to coming in, we will allow the schools to have a quick interview with the particular candidate as well, whether it's on a face-to-face or Zoom or Teams meeting, which we can set up or the college can set up. And this can be either with the SENCO or with the maybe lead co-educator within the school as well. We will ensure that they all have an enhanced DBS, which is on the update service as well. So before we will place anybody in the school, we will do the background checks and make sure that all the safeguarding and all the normal vetting procedures that you would expect when hiring your own members of staff will be in place. So right to work, DBS certificates, national insurance numbers and references as well. We'll send you along their CV, which highlights their skills, qualifications, and course tutor to support their application. Obviously, the student benefits from this because they get to see what it's like really in a school for the week. And there's obviously many barriers that a lot of these people have got to employment. And part of what we do as an agency, we try and break down any barriers people have got to employment. One of the biggest barriers that people have got where they've been out of the workforce, especially for a number of years, is the reference. So one of the barriers we can break down is that we will cover the cost of the DBS. They will have a reference from a course tutor, and hopefully from doing a week's work experience, we can get a feedback form or a quick reference from the school, and that way they have a file that is ready to go to then hopefully go on to further work opportunities as well. I can see Rob Simpson sitting here, so hi Rob, he was actually one of the first participants. So he took one of our students and it was working well for a few weeks, and whether Rob wants to kind of verify this, and then the student in the school decided they wanted to change the person they were with, but we got a very good reference from Rob. So we got contacted by Rob Simpson from Dagenham Park, who was to support a Year 9 pupil with juvenile Batten's disease, and ideally the profile was someone who had potentially had a training in epilepsy, a care background, and who could offer more social care support rather than an academic background. We actually had a student from the New City College course who pretty much ticked every single box. He went forward for the interview, he met with Rob, he met with the pupil, and he got offered the job, and he worked quite well for a few weeks. Rob, do you want to jump in there?
Yeah, I mean, let's say first of all, the service we got from Ryan and his company, Active Recruitment, was superb. I mean, we called up Ryan, was given Ryan's name, got in touch, and he had something back to me within a few hours. We were able to meet with the parents. The candidate came in. He was a little bit nervous to start with, but soon settled in with the staff and the pupil. It was just unfortunate that coming back after the summer break, we had one good week, and then it's the nature of the Batten's disease. You know, there was an issue, not with the candidate. He was excellent. It was just a personal thing with a young lad, and unfortunately we had to terminate the contract, which was a real shame because the person that was provided by Ryan was absolutely excellent. And I say we would have no hesitation if we had an opportunity to employ him because he was really, really good. It was exactly what we were looking for. You know, he fitted that the spec and was doing really, really well. And it's just a shame to say that the placement didn't work out with a young lad.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. I appreciate you sort of jumping in there.
No, well, we're really, really pleased with JC. As I said before, his key skills fit the profile of what we needed, and he was doing really well. It's just unfortunate it didn't work out, but that's the nature of the disease. Unfortunately, once they get an idea stuck in their head, it's very hard to shift. But we're doing the best we can with it at the moment.
And JC is one of them ones where actually, if you look at his CV prior to doing this course, his CV wouldn't jump out at you, and he probably wouldn't be shortlisted for any interview or anything like that. But when I met him face to face, he didn't realise how good he potentially can be, and the transferable skills that he can bring from his previous experience and even his previous training. And we worked with him on his CV because the CV he presented to us just did not highlight any of his experience either. So he got the job, like I say, and it worked out for a while. It was unfortunate, but again, we are trying to find him additional placements and additional work. And I think JC again would be somebody that, if a school needed a mentor for a week or a one-to-one person with sort of an ASD child or somebody with high function autism, I think he would be a really good fit for any other sort of positions that come up. So this is the feedback from the participant, obviously the feedback from the school, but we've sort of heard that directly as well now, which is a bit of a bonus, so thank you. Another one is Mayfield School in Dagenham. They contacted us on the last day of term. They needed a learning support assistant to support a year 7 pupil who requires peg feeding. Obviously this is a very specialised area as well. They didn't have anybody in school who's trained, and as it was the last day of term, it was obviously too late to advertise for a September start. And again, somebody else who had recently just completed the course was a lady called Zenobia, and she lives 2 minutes from the school. And one of the things I remember about Zenobia as part of the course was she had relevant, up-to-date peg feeding. I appreciate on the screen worked with dyslexia, ADHD, Down syndrome, dyscalculia, vulnerable adults. She's administered medication. She's got training in defibrillator. And the key one is peg feeding. And again, she was out of the workforce for a good 4 or 5 years, where she was a support worker, and she just needed that self-confidence, that self-belief. And what this course gave her is an additional relevant, up-to-date qualification. And again, she started in September. She's doing well. The pupil gets on with her. The parents are happy with her, and she's got the relevant training and certificates from previous experience as well. Just a bit of an update. Since September, we've been very successful in placing other people from New City College. We've currently got 5 people that completed the course in June and July that are now working with low functioning ASD students in a specialist mainstream school, or specialist unit within a mainstream school in Newham. And we've got another one that has recently started at another school in Buchan and Dagenham this week. And really, we're just looking to try and get as many schools on board as possible that will help these other students get that real life work experience and hopefully that foot on the ladder into employment, because there is some amazing people out there. So this is a flyer that we've put together that I'd be happy to circulate and share around as well. And this is obviously some additional stuff about active recruitment. While I've got you guys as well, might as well do my spiel. But we've also got hundreds of online CPD accredited courses as well, including first aid, autism awareness, and so on and so forth, epilepsy awareness, a lot of courses that are suitable for caretakers as well and admin staff. We have had it on a number of instances, on a number of occasions, where we've even supplied catering assistance to schools and they've needed a level 2 food safety or food hygiene course. We've got that course available. We can provide that to the candidate. Again, we've paid for that course. It's an online course they can do. It's fully CPD accredited. And from completing that course, they've then gone on to sort of gain employment as well. Rebecca, can I ask you to say a few words as well? Is that okay for everyone? Just for Rebecca, the course tutor, to jump in.
Hi everyone, thank you for including me today. I'm, as Ryan said, the tutor at New City College. We have a number of different campuses, and we've run the level 1 preparing to work in schools course for a little while now. It's coming on for almost 2 years, based out of Hackney, but we've been running it for longer in other campuses. As Ryan said, I'm basically here to promote my students. They're wonderful. They come from a wide variety of backgrounds, and have a huge diversity in what they're capable of doing. A lot of them, yes, they have a certain barrier to employment, which is why I think the course is absolutely wonderful, because it breaks down those barriers so that they're job ready, and they actually have the confidence to come to you guys and do a wonderful job. You know, if anyone has any questions about the course, obviously, you know, I'm here. I teach it on a daily basis, and I was the one that kind of made it up. So if anyone has any questions, then obviously I'm here to answer.
Thanks, Becky. So that's our presentation, and that's me done, I think, for now.